Hello, 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 everybody. We have a impromptu stream here. Interesting story. So I show up to my friend's house. So my rig and everything. I was going to teach my friend how to do videos and live streaming and stuff. But my main reason for coming over was to shoot some AK-47s, and which we did this afternoon, and that was awesome. There might be some footage on the channel later that you guys can enjoy, probably tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, so I get here, and the antics of that guy who wears the newsboy hat apparently irritated the shit out of my friend. So we're like, fuck it, you want to talk about it? And that is why we are here. If you know who the cuck who wears the newsboy hat is, great. That makes our job easier here. But if you don't, well, prepare to learn a little bit. All right, so those of you who don't know her by her logo, this is Cassandra of Troy on YouTube.
Hi, all.
Hello. And so, most importantly, Cassandra, tell the audience what your qualifications are going forward, because we're going to be talking about psychological stuff, and you have a lot of experience and education in this, but I want you to, in your own words, tell the audience about that.
Okay. In regards to our life coach, I think you don't need qualifications. You can be a human being and tell that there's something wrong with his life coaching. Yeah. But as a professional, what I've done for the last 25 years is I've been a psychiatric nurse. and a psychiatric nurse. I work at night. I work in crisis unit and also detoxing all drugs and alcohol from everyone from the elite to the homeless. Um, every form of psychiatric disorder you can think of, when they're in the biggest crisis, that's they come to me. And working night shift, it's up to just us to help stabilize someone, help calm someone. I also answer, I'm an overflow suicide line hotline. So
Mhm.
I work that. So I take issue when I hear people on YouTube talking to other people about unlifing. That is another bugaboo I'll be dealing with soon.
And by unlifing, she means
Zeroing out.
zeroing out, taking your own life. I mean that's a quick way of saying it,
Yeah.
unlifing. I like that, but you
I
guys get
lowered
the idea.
expectations. Sorry. Just wanted to say a
Yeah.
hi of couple. There's Green Ghost
Yep.
and a very wise GF times 260. I don't know what that means, but student loan forgiveness and
Yeah. We got
admin joke, we concur.
we got a couple of new names in the chat, which is great. Cool. Um,
I won't
welcome.
watch it too much. I'm going to leave it
Okay.
up to
Right.
Mr. Rifle.
I got that covered.
I
And
was just looking at the
but it is good to address the chat. So thank you all for being here. We're gonna get this party started. So
so
you're a long time professional, but we have to remember, guys, remember this. She is not a doctor, does not
prescribe,
prescribe
diagnose.
anything or diagnose. That's diagnose
Yes.
was the word I was going
Yes.
for. So keep that in mind. These are opinions that are coming from a professional, but uh, just remember she's not a doctor. So don't come in here and try to tell her what she is or what she isn't.
I already know. I assure you.
Yeah.
I turned down medical school and I like what I do.
So it should be very clear that that Cassandra here knows a lot more about these types of things than that guy that wears the newsboy hat. All right, let's make that very clear. Lowered Expectations says perhaps you should be a life coach. Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, Lowered Expectations, because if I hadn't mentioned it before, I was here to show Cassandra how to make content, which is something that she plans on doing in the future. So there may be some life coaching involved. I don't know. I mean, she has her own plans, but
I will call it suggestions on how to life coach, not just suggestions. And I have no intention of ever being a life coach per se.
Sure.
But yeah, suggestions, maybe things what not to do, explanations as to why the person feels like or is being attacked and why they might be being attacked, maybe a suggestion.
Yeah.
How to. I just have suggestions, but this is so impromptu that I'm not as prepared as I would normally be.
Right. Right. We kind of just were like, fuck it, let's do it, and here we are.
Because I'm clearly very uncomfortable on even on microphone, so camera will really do me in.
All right.
But
so
baby steps.
You were pretty irritated. Now that the introductions are out and everybody understands what kind of person they're dealing with, let's talk about some of the things that irritated you about newsboy hat guy.
Well, do we go back 4 years or just to last night?
Whatever you want to talk
or
about.
we can talk about today.
Whatever
I happened
you
to listen
want
to
to
him
talk
today.
about, because this guy has a long history of this type of bullshit, giving advice. If you want to just start off with his background and what he believes his his lack of qualifications would be the proper thing to say. But however you want to start it off, the world is your oyster.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to start off about his ignorance as to what life coaching actually is.
All right, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, I guess so. And why he likes to point out that he doesn't need any training at all, and he finds anything that is about training and life coaching to be bogus and a scam, which is ironic, and a grift, also ironic. Um, and he feels that he's I'm trying to think of the words. I'm autistic, so I also have a hard time with words sometimes. It helps because it helps working nights. But his qualifications, is that where I was going?
Yes.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, he feels his qualifications are his 48 years of living on this earth, um working as an insurance agent, a retail salesman, and I think that's it. I think those are his qualifications, and school bullying. And I think those make him ready for life.
I see.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and it's true. You don't need certification or anything to be a life coach, but I would think one would want to read about it first, learn, what the goals of life coaching are. He says he wants to be a relation, or he no, forgive me. He says he is a relationship and business and career life coach. Not wants to be. Forget that. But he says he is. Um
Yeah.
Perhaps you are correct.
I believe you are correct. Lower
LE.
expectations. Yeah.
Perhaps you are
Hit the
correct.
nail on the head.
So yeah, and then on top of it, I've seen him going back many years when people send me now, and it's very sparsely, but people have sent me things and asked me my opinions on things that he's said. People whom he has doxed, people who are irritated by him as well, and they've heard me say things or type things in other chats, and they send me stuff and ask me about it, and I've just been summarizing or explaining things, and then other people have been saying you really need to do a response stuff to him. So I've been kind of looking into this for a couple weeks and looking into him, and I remember him 4 years ago and to now, and he says he's changed and he's better, but he's just, all he's learned is to slightly control his emotions a little more, which I don't even think that is true, because I think some of his little melties were, he thought that was bringing in attracting people, and then he realized that was the wrong technique or the wrong grift, and so he said he's going to now be calm, but he's incapable of being calm. He showed that just last night. He likes to use the word, he's not, what is it, he's not triggered. If I wasn't so nervous, I could say this all the time. I'm not triggered, I'm passionate. That's what it is.
Okay.
I'm passionate. And so I've just been watching him through all these years, watching him do a lot of not changing, do a lot of not self investigation. Those are things that are paramount to becoming a life coach, according to the 3 life coaching
what is the
things
source that
I've
you're
looked
reading
in.
from
Right.
there?
This one, there's one, New Skills Academy.
New Skills Academy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have 2 other books here. One from a major beginner life coach. I mean, a life coach that she kind of started the movement. And I'm not thrilled about this, by the way, but transformational life coaching. And then there's another book that I ran around looking for. It's a lot of it's new agey. I know this Eli fellow follows people like Coach Corey Wayne, and who's I think Coach wants to be Tony Robbins. He's really impressed by Tony Robbins. When if you look at people doing critiques, you can find it all over YouTube, critiques on Tony Robbins, you understand that he does have a lot of flim-flam mob control mentality methods. He's more psychologically manipulating than helping. That's my opinion.
Well,
it's not it's not fact. It's opinion.
Okay.
That's just your opinion.
Yes, exactly. And which is another. Don't even get me started about debate equaling. It's just my opinion. I won.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
One step at a time. My experience with this guy, I used to know a guy that used to fuck with him all the time, and he annoyed me then. His voice, if I ever hear him It annoys the shit out of me. I did one video about the guy because I thought he was a grifter that was manipulating mentally handicapped people, and I
Cool.
made fun of him a little bit. If you
Yes.
want to check that video out, it's called Guilty Grift X, the Cuck. So check that out after this stream if you're interested. But other than that, I don't deal with this motherfucker. I don't care about him. He's a cuck. His voice just annoys the shit out of me. He needs to get some tests. He needs to raise his testosterone levels, but I'm not sure if that'll save him or not.
Well, no, he thinks his testosterone
Yeah,
is
well, yeah.
higher than most, and
If
he's
I
an alpha.
recall, okay, yeah. If I recall, I used to refer to himself as an alpha male, so
Mm-hmm.
you know,
He
Yes,
still
sir.
does.
he's not gonna he's not gonna fix a problem he doesn't realize he has. So there's that. So we're gonna rely a lot on what Cassandra has to say about the guy, and boy, does she have a lot. So yeah. So now we got a little bit of his background. What was probably the most egregious thing you've heard this cuckold say? What would you say was the most egregious?
Well, I can think of 3 things.
Sure. Shoot,
So
spit 'em
whatever.
out. Yeah.
The one again is from long ago, when he actually encouraged someone to zero themselves out,
Okay.
which he argues back by saying that was so long ago and I've changed.
Can you give us the context?
Yeah,
as far as you know.
Yeah, I'll skip over that one, but that's
Sure. Okay.
I heard him defend that, and that was
All right.
indefensible. So moving forward, because anyone who wants to work with people, if you've had that in your mind ever, that it's okay to say that to someone, you'll probably get weeded out of any program, and you probably shouldn't be in the field. That's not a thought that should ever enter your mind to say to somebody. And so that's actually the little one, because the third one happened just today.
Okay.
Another time he was again going from channel to channel, as he does, to try to get more followers.
Oh, he's still doing that.
He's still doing that. And this one was probably 4 or 5 months ago, but he likes to analyze the person to whom he's speaking, or have people come up and ask him questions. So he did, and someone came up and started talking to him and asking questions. Was it a troll? In this case, I don't think it was, but it could have been. They're very good, by the way. And this coach stops and says, well, tell me about what's going on in your childhood, because I think I know what the problem is. And the person gets near hysterical, because that's not what you do when you're helping someone, especially when you can hear that they're in distress. That's not the first thing you do. Whether you're a life coach, a therapist, a nurse, a psychiatric nurse, you don't do that. And then when the person hung up, this coach laughs, says, I guess he's triggered. I guess that loser needs to find a better way to get it, or not a better way. Something to the effect of, this loser's never going to get his life together. He berated the guy. Now, I'm going to again say it could have been a troll, but it didn't sound like it. Regardless if it was a troll or not, he shouldn't. Those are things that nobody should say to someone. So he stepped out of life coaching and into a therapist who's already developed an interpersonal relationship. And even they don't tend to do that. You're really supposed to, and I know a lot of therapists, and they're supposed to listen and elicit thoughts from the person.
Should not a therapist have an education and training
Of course.
to perform those
Yes.
types of? Okay, that's
Yes.
what I thought.
Even in my opinion, because he'll argue, and he's not incorrect, and needs to be changed in the mental health field of, quote, life coaching, because he'll say that, well, if he detects that there's a problem stronger than something he can handle, he'll send them to a mental health specialist. But how can he know what that is? He can't, because he's never studied anything. I don't even think the guy went to advanced education or has taken a psychology course or read a book about it. Because if he had done that, trust me, he would tell us. He would list all
Yeah,
his qualifications.
yeah. If I recall, his personality type is the type that would be braggadocious about
Mm-hmm.
if he achieved anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, yeah, absolutely.
So, his we are all familiar, I'm sure, with ad hominem attacks.
Yeah.
So, this is what he resorts. This is what he resorts to when he's over his head. Everyone becomes jealous losers who have no life and just want to be him, and it's egregious to I'm speechless tonight because I got all my energy out earlier listening to him yesterday in a live stream where he was once again going to another content creator and to talk about himself and tell everybody why he's such a good life coach. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And this does apply to the manosphere, in my opinion,
yeah,
too.
well,
There are
I
a
was
lot of
getting
grifters
ready
there.
to say that, but we're focusing on the object of your irritation first, but
Is an ex-manospherean.
this kind
Yeah.
of, well, he tried. He's one
Yeah,
of
he
those
did.
guys that tried, but nobody respected him because he's too low T to fit in. You know, I mean, let's just be real. That's what he was. Nobody respected him. No one respects him now. No one respected him then. He was run out of there. All he did, it sounds like he's using the same bag of tricks he always used. So it doesn't sound like he's changed that much. He probably still hasn't moved out of his mother's house.
Oh,
Just
he
saying.
has a girlfriend, so there's that. What's interesting about that is he thinks that a relationship of 10 months and a previous one of, I think it was 2.5 years, and then one in high school, I think, um, qualifies him as a relationship coach. And had just today he was talking about helping people get out of their relationships, whether it be in school, whether it be business, or whether it be marriage. I'm like, that's that's so clueless and so presumptuous. And that's another thing. Okay, this is gonna. Maybe I'm warming up, but he's presumptuous.
Okay.
When he starts screaming at his chat, not only does he scream insults, but then he goes on to tell the person, which he did to me, which got me a chuckle. Okay, I might have been trolling a little bit, but I was asking and making comments on what he was saying. And he goes, "And who are you, Cassandra? What have you done with your life? You're just jealous. You don't know anything about what I'm doing. You probably just sit there in front of your computer, blah blah blah."
All right. So.
And it's like, it's just, and it's not about me,
Mhm.
but it was just
Right.
funny because he does this to anybody.
Well, he was treating you like you were a troll. It sounds like. And another thing we forgot to bring up. We brought up your long career in this field, but how long have you been married?
Oh, 30 years in a month.
Okay. So
30 years.
there's that. So you could say that you have a long career in the mental health field, and you've been married for what, 30 years. So you have a long marriage, and so you might have a little bit of experience in these sorts of matters.
I guess you
right?
could say that a tad.
Just a little bit.
I might understand that the ups and downs are, you don't just walk away on a down.
Right.
Which I've seen him do that to somebody. Someone that was, and they were probably trolling him again, but they were talking about struggling in their marriage, and this guy goes straight to divorce.
Yeah.
You're not interested? You're not having fun anymore? Get out. Go find somebody to make you happy. I'm like, oh my God. It's so...
that sounds like...
like something he would do.
well, like something he would do. It also sounds kind of like feminist advice, but...
Well, he seems to be a feminist, and I have to confess I'm not. So there's going to be a difference right there.
You're a traitor.
I am a traitor. I am. I'm a dirty, dirty anti-whatever wave feminism this is at this point. Feminism had its day, over-succeeded its goals, and now they're just a raging bunch of lunatics. But moving on.
Yeah. So on that note, while there's a brief pause, guys, I'm sorry, we're not paying, like, we're watching the chat, but we're trying to just talk, have a conversation and not interrupt it too much. But um, there will be a time where you guys can ask questions. I may even try to, probably not, just given the rate that people like to porn bomb others, but I may even allow someone to come on voice and talk with us. It's a little difficult given the way things are set up, but I'll think about it. But so if you have questions, save them for the end if you don't mind, and understand that we're not ignoring you. We have the chat and on a very large screen right in front of us, so we are seeing what you are saying. So keep that in mind. And
if they fit in right with the question,
Mhm.
or if they help me guide what I'm trying to say,
sure.
I'm all for it.
Okay, then
Yes.
then you can bring that up, but mostly we're going to try to keep the conversation flowing.
Yeah, that's your job. I'm all over the
Sure.
place.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to rein you in.
So, okay, I'm looking at, I did
Yeah.
write a couple notes because we only discussed this today. So there was the attack on people who call, on the people who call in, and he wants to give a good example to. You almost wonder if he's trolling all along. Maybe he's trolling us, and he has no intention of being a life coach. Wouldn't that be something? Like he's showing us how not to be a life coach.
I don't. Think so.
I'm
I think
kidding.
he's
I'm
just a
kidding
fucking
everybody.
failure.
But wouldn't that be
Yeah.
funny? But what's interesting, another thing that's interesting, is not only does he tiptoe into the realm of psychology and psychiatry, he then uses the terms incorrectly.
Okay,
And
can you give us
though
some
I could-
examples?
Though I could find that humorous, which I
Mhm.
do, by the way, and he wonders why he's not funny or
Mhm.
why he's seen as funny and he's a lolcow. Well, these are some of the things that make him funny. Is he'll correct,
How
he'll
pathetic he is.
yeah, he'll read his chat and he'll read what a person wrote, and they might have written something grammatically incorrectly, and then he'll correct them basically, and he'll say it in a way that makes them stupid. And yet
condescending when he corrects someone's grammar.
Very much so.
Can you, Cassandra? Can you give us an example of him using terminology incorrectly?
Oh,
off the top of
absolutely.
your head? Go ahead.
Off the top of my head, I can come up with one. Maybe others will pop in later.
Yeah.
But holy cow, projection. Everything to him is projection. And
yeah.
sometimes he uses it correctly and sometimes he doesn't, but it's the whole broken clock thing. I don't think if he's using it incorrectly, he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. So therefore, when he uses it correctly, I think it's like an accident.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. That you're projecting your insecurities onto me.
Oh God.
No. Yeah.
But it's even worse. He said it today actually, because once again, people know now that I'm putting together some stuff. I'm actually gonna. That's why I'm being taught how to do this.
Yeah.
Is I'm actually learning how to clip and give exact examples, because he challenged me to do it a while ago. First, he challenged everyone to do it, and that's when I took up the challenge. And then he quit YouTube, and then he unquit a week later. and yeah, it's been a roller coaster keeping up with this feller. But nonetheless, it's the not understanding terminology, insulting his viewers, potential clients, which is horrifying. Let's see.
Hey, Shogun.
Oh,
Welcome.
Shogun. Hey, bud.
That's somebody I'd let come on because he's not going to porn bomb us.
Yeah.
But we were talking
He's
about
our old time bud.
the cuck who wears the newsboy hat. He goes by Elias Mellis. I don't care to say his fucking name. What the fuck is he gonna do? Nothing. But that's who we're talking about. You may or may not be familiar with
You might
this
remember him.
Yeah, if you watch Slob Lewis's content, now that we're on this topic, let me go ahead and give you guys our.
You didn't listen, Pete. Oh, Ellie knows exactly who we're talking about.
Yeah. Ellie,
And they go back
knows
far.
No, they know.
They
know
must
something.
go back far.
But yeah, our history with the cuck here goes back to 2017. So my favorite punching bag, Slob Lewis, did an interview with him, and it was some bullshit him trying to throw at Chris Cantu. Supposedly, the cuck knew something about Chris Cantu. He was talking out his ass, to be quite honest. But he got an interview with Slob Lewis, and Slob Lewis actually was cucking him on his stream, which that's pretty funny. But it's an way old video from like 2017, towards the start. If you remember, it was the time frame of the Red Pill coin drama, and that was our first introduction to him. And I was like, even then, I was like, who is this fucking cuck dude? Like, he sounds like a little bitch. And you know, I've never liked him since. And then, you know, I started talking to other people in some other community, and he popped back up. And that was
Like
our
a whack-a-mole.
yeah, and that was our original introduction to this guy. And he's been, you know, he's been like a he's like the fucking stink bugs that come out every year. You know, you think he's gone, and then he's back.
Well, that's,
You know.
yeah, that's good. Here's another thing. You want to know what, okay, all those other things are the professional reasons
Yeah.
why I'm not a fan.
Sure.
But then, as a human being, this person, he has doxed people, because some of the people have, oh my gosh, hey, Mrs. Ka.
Okay. I haven't seen that person in a long time.
She knows
Yeah.
much more than I do, even, probably.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mrs. Call in like years. That's how long I've been away from
Yeah, I
that
know.
community.
I know.
So,
I don't even think we've spoken about this until the last couple days,
I
that
know.
he's just really gotten under my skin.
yeah, I'm actually curious, you know, how she found my stream. But hey, okay, I'll take it. I'll take. Hey, more viewers the better, right? Good to see you,
I know
Mrs.
Mr.
Cobb.
Rifle likes you, Mrs. Cobb.
Yeah, well, I did.
He's spoken fondly of you.
I did a couple of images for her character. I
Oh,
made a paint and
cool,
stuff
okay.
like that for her. I do remember doing that. I did those for her. But, well, I haven't talked to her in years. But anyways, good to see you. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, sorry, that was such a surprise. So,
But she watched the old King and the Cuck
Oh,
shows.
yeah.
I remember that being talked about. I just can't stand the guy's voice.
I know.
I'm just
you're
being real.
same with Bobby.
Making that one video about him was like, that was about as much as I could take when I
Yeah.
made that video, because it's
Try listening to him at 1.75 speed. It's torture, but at least it goes by faster.
oh,
So-
awesome. She still got him.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's cool. Oh, look, Teutonic Holy Blade.
Yeah, Holy Blades. I've seen you in here, man. I just didn't want to. We were in the middle of talking.
Yeah,
something.
I'm sorry, I
But,
missed you, bud.
Yeah.
But I know of you. I remember these folks.
Yep.
But
Brings back memories.
anyhow, what was like? Oh, just
You were
some of
talking
the
about.
people who reach out to me,
Mhm.
he's doxed them before, because I've just put out feelers, just saying, tell me something about him, or why you don't want to talk about him, or you dislike him and
Yeah.
such. And it's some of the shady things he does behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. It's terrible. It's terrible. Doxing.
Yeah, that is, you brought back a memory by saying that, because I
Mhm.
remember someone, who was it that put that out there, of him just telling some other person, dox the bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing that sound clip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, can't recall where it even fucking came from.
Right. I
But
read
I remember it, so I know he's one of those people that's behind the scenes getting
Yeah.
goons to do certain things for him. Why someone would want to do something for this guy at all like that, I don't know, or even why anyone watches him for that matter. I mean,
Well,
forget
most
that
of the time, most of it I believe now is that he's funny. He's unironically funny.
okay,
You know,
I
I get
I
that.
can see that,
I get that.
depending on your sense of humor style, I
Mhm.
suppose.
Yeah, true. Like I said, he's so hypocritical. How about hypocritical? Let's go there.
Yeah.
But there's something. There was a better word for that. But yes, hypocritical is there. He's so self-unaware, so that's kind of funny.
Lacking in self-awareness.
my
I mean,
gosh.
that can be pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. When he says one thing and then he contradicts himself, sometimes as little as 5 minutes later, or 10. I'll go with 10. I'll try to find an example. But, when I'm doing my research, because Mr. Eli, you asked for it. So
Yeah.
so fine, I'll do my research and let you know what I find, because I found a lot. Um, but even last night when he was being interviewed by a young woman, Scotty, and he gets immediately he goes into her marriage, and he just sits up there and he says, "Well, tell me who wore the pants in the family," thinking it was her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was going to go into why it's her fault, basically. I mean, I'm just, oh my God. She took care of it pretty well.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it was interesting to watch that happen.
We'll have to.
Exactly, Mrs. Ka. I didn't want to bring that up, but how dare he? Yeah,
Yeah, I remember Joe Buddy.
exactly. Joe Buddy's a wonderful man. He really is. And he just trolled him. And that's another thing, is poor Eli can't handle trolling. And he thinks he can. He thinks he'll sit there and tell you he has it all figured out. No, he does not. And unfortunately, he lacks a sense of humor. Okay, perhaps it's just my sense of humor or and others around us, but I think he lacks a sense of humor about himself. But nonetheless, he could really turn this around, or could have turned it around many times, just by learning to laugh at himself. Not the fake laugh, but really laugh, and maybe be a little self-denigrating, which I don't think he's capable of doing. But
no.
Oh well.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eli hasn't answered every question. So yeah, I mean, the words "I don't know" probably aren't in his vocabulary.
I don't believe so.
I don't think they ever were.
And perhaps he can talk to someone about insurance. I think he'd be decent at teaching people about how to get started on YouTube. But there you go. That's all I'm going to give him. So I try to always look for positive in people. I mean, I really do. But he slowly's been chipping away at the positive statue I built of him, because every time I find something positive, he'll chip that out with a nice sledgehammer of negative. And it's he's his own worst enemy. And yeah.
He always was.
Yeah.
He always was. I'm just remembering the antics from years and years ago.
Yeah, I mean, here's an example, and I'm not telling anybody anything secret. These people put their lives out there, he and his lady, and
so he's got a girlfriend.
Yes, a girlfriend, 10 months, and by golly, they're in it forever. They're in love, and they're never ending, and it's so thank you, and Costco.
Okay.
That was the retail. There was Costco and some electronics store.
Okay.
But yeah, those mind-numbing stories. Yeah, anyhow.
Yeah, I don't know hardly.
But so he has this idealized notion of what a relationship is.
Okay.
And he goes on with his lady, and what do I first find out is he's talked her into quitting her job. Well, I'm pretty much getting her fired. And now they're going into a lawsuit, but that's a whole other can of worms. But he life coached her out of a job. And mainly it's her daughter's wedding.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Well, her daughter isn't too fancified with this coach yet.
Mm-hmm. And
she basically told the mother, who they already had a strained relationship, that she didn't want this coach to come to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And which turned into a big ordeal.
Did it happen or did it not?
I don't believe the wedding has happened yet, but a lot of the pre-parties have happened. And this woman is now his lady is upset because then she got uninvited. And yes, and I'm sure he took these videos down. God, I wish I had a copy. If anybody has a copy, please send them to me. I am going to put out a bulletin to get clips of deleted videos, but
we'll at the end of this we'll also put out like your contact information
if
anyone wants to send you clips or whatever.
Yeah, because some people send me stuff and I don't even know how they find out who I am, where I am. It's amazing. People are amazing on YouTube.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, your email and your YouTube name are
Yeah,
the same.
and my
So
yeah,
it's probably
it
pretty
is the
easy
same.
to-
So I
easy
am
to
it's
find.
I'm very easy to find.
Yeah.
So I was kind of being a jokester there,
Oh,
but it is
yeah.
funny that of all people, I guess I've been the most consistent in saying the same questions to him and coming. People think sometimes that I go like someone, not like someone. No, 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 no. I'm very consistent. And
Okay.
once I make a stance, I keep the stance unless something changes drastically. And believe me, this man, for all the times I've tried to be understanding, like I said, he'll then chip that away. I mean, the poor fella can't even keep people in his chat because he thinks everything's an insult.
Okay.
It's amazing. He's amazing. But anyhow, the relationship with his lady and her daughter. I mean, you can listen to her life story and know what the problem is. It's very easy to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And she brought in another man after her husband into her relationship and put him before his children. So clearly that's going to put a rift between your children, Dee Dee, if you're listening, and I'm sure she won't. And yeah, because we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But okay, you know this is the problem, so don't put another man, stranger, in front of your daughter's wedding. Come on, lady. let's think about this. And under no don't fight with your daughter over this. Just Eli should be man enough to step down and insist on stepping down and be the end. That be the end of it. But Eli initially was enraged that he wasn't accepted. And they just needed to meet him and fall in love with him and life would be good. It was
Okay.
awful. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and the alcoholism. Here she says in her life story that she's an alcoholic. She's been drunk. She's been caught. She has been drunk driving. She says that on the stream. Eli says it on the stream. Now, she's got an arrest or a pretrial. I don't even know. It would be none of my business if they didn't talk about it. And she insists that she was taking a medication and it makes her look drunk. Okay, that's fine. But he's also said she's driven drunk before. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's against the law. And as a matter of fact, it's bloody dangerous. And I've taken care of many patients in this about this. I've lost patients to this. I've had ex-patients kill other people. So yeah, this is going to get under my skin a little bit. And then what does Eli do in a stream? He laughs about giving her mimosas in the morning.
So he's an enabler then.
Oh, yeah, he has no concept of how severe this is. And this is something that anyone you don't have to work in this field to know that this is an inappropriate thing to say to someone saying they're trying to get over their alcohol problem. Who doesn't know that? That's something every I'm sorry. Probably 95% of all lay people know this.
Yeah,
what is he doing?
Even people on the street should know a lot of this stuff. I mean,
exactly.
Including, you can't quit cold turkey, but you should definitely start weaning yourself off of it.
Yeah, and here you have Mrs. Ka, and I don't think she and I have ever seen each other say this, and this is the first time I think I've seen this. He is dangerous. I say it often.
That was the direction I was going to go because this stream, based off of what you told me earlier, is called Dangerous Life Coaching. So that we were going to segue to that.
Yeah, because I said it tonight. This man is dangerous.
Now that
this
we're
is a PSA.
Here, now that we're at this point, and we've been streaming for almost 45 minutes, kind of tell the audience or anyone else who will listen, why do you think this life coach in particular is dangerous? Like, just give us some reasons that you believe that in your opinion.
Well, in the examples I used of things he has done, the unaliving of somebody, of themselves, and like I said, anybody who ever has that.
Is that like encouragement to
yes
themselves?
So
he encouraged someone to off.
He said, "Go ahead and do it." Basically, oh my gosh, he talking to someone about a marriage, but he knows nothing about it. He throws in his purple pill knowledge, and then says, "Be gone with her. Get rid of her."
Yeah.
He just makes these quick decisions, these quick assumptions about people, about whom he cannot possibly know a thing. We're talking chat stuff.
Yeah.
And he's making these comments. And that is very dangerous. He doesn't know who's on the other side of the keyboard. I could have been typing to him whatever I'm saying, and let's just say I was a very hurt person, just letting out my steam, and he then starts screaming at me that I'm a loser and that I'm just jealous of him and I have no right to be there. It depends on who you're talking. He doesn't, a quote life coach, a quote human being, a non-monster should be able to think like that. If you're portraying yourself as a life coach, you are giving yourself authority.
Yeah.
And some people are going to believe that authority.
What was that he always used to say? Ah, yes. You would call people mentally unstable.
He says that constantly.
Now, is that not
possibly projection?
projection? That's where I was going with it. Yeah, you knew where I was
It
going
would
with
be projection if he actually believed it of himself, but he does not believe that of himself. He believes himself to be the most stable person out there. I believe he finds himself to be very together and very capable. He's shown his worth somehow. Even today on his walking stream, he talks about how he always manages to fit in that he's in a high-end neighborhood in California and how pricey everything is, and this is where he lives. And there was a man there. I don't think they were in a PT Cruiser, or he would have gone running screaming like a little girl. But another man in a beat up car, which was very distressful to him. And he watched him for a while to make sure that he wasn't being trolled in real life. So but I digress. Which I don't know Mrs. Koss saw this today, because I was just listening to it an hour ago.
Yeah.
And here he was, probably being trolled, but someone asks him a question about his shy girlfriend or a shy girl. And he initially says, "Oh, if you need to ask me that question, then you must be really young, because any other man would have had her in bed by now." I'm just, oh, okay, that's a good start. Way to put someone down. So he says, "How old are you?" And they write 17. Okay, now Eli, you're talking to a child. Okay? You're talking to a child. You've already said kind of an inappropriate thing. Now you're talking to a child. Does he not say something like, "Well, at your age, I really think you should talk to your parents," or I think this is not the time or the place to discuss this, because he could humiliate him. He's a 17-year-old boy. And he starts talking to the 17-year-old boy about the woman he's dating. And I think he actually talked about getting in her pants. I think he might have actually said that.
That's something you need to go back later and record that.
Trust me, I have the clip. I have the clip's signatures. Nonetheless, he never asked her, "Well, how old is your girlfriend?" He never even brought that up. I mean, it's creepy. But so technically what he was doing was talking to a child like an adult, talking about the woman that child might be dating. So the woman would actually be an illegal older person, or a not woman who would be another child. Either way, he was in the wrong ballpark. And yet this coach, and I put my little quotes here, this coach just grabbed it and ran with that football. It was golden, but it's also appalling. It's dangerous. What he did today was dangerous. And I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time. That was an hour ago. While you were setting up all this computer stuff down here. And I have to get a chuckle at your picture, because I am not trying to therapize this fellow. I am not a therapist.
Yeah, I just wanted something related to psychology.
No, it's very funny.
That's why I also had to make sure it was clear you're not a doctor or psychologist or psychiatrist.
Don't pretend to be, don't want to be. I love working nights when no one else is around, and handle the problems as they come. And I think I've pretty much covered most everything that I can think of at this moment.
at the time.
I have a lot written down
Okay.
elsewhere, and I'll be doing that on my channel.
Well, you can handle all of that when you start making your own content. So again, guys, be looking forward to Cassandra making her own stuff. I'll be probably stepping in to help her, figure things out and until she's got it kind of mastered. But
Mwah,
expect
mwah, mwah.
it, expect it, and it'll be interesting because she has a lot of interesting things to say.
And I'm using his own words.
Yeah.
I don't have to speak. I can just put in little notations as to what he's doing at any given time.
Well,
And what part is
well,
dangerous.
you'll have to be careful because is he still copyright striking people?
He says he is not going to anymore, and he hasn't lately. But for heaven's sakes,
Boy, I remember.
he could at any moment. He changes he
Okay.
changes like the tides. Bye bye, Mrs. Ka. I'll talk to you
Yeah.
later, my
See you,
lady.
Mrs. Ka. Yeah, because I remember that used to be one of his things is he would privacy strike people.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
stealing my content.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
know,
no,
that
actually.
type of bull.
Yeah. No, I'm transforming your content, buddy.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm making
can-
it. I'm going to do my best with help of anybody who wants to help me to make it right. And point out where he's funny. I mean, he can be funny, but the dangerousness, in my opinion, overrides the humor at this point. And
Yeah.
and he doesn't see it. I guess the girlfriend doesn't see it. Hell, I can bring up one of their conversations and point out where there was no communication, and it was a stream about how to communicate, and the irony was there was absolutely no communication. It was mind-boggling.
Oh.
Yeah, it was absolutely mind-boggling.
I just kind of wonder how these people find him when I think about it, because I don't remember him having a sizable channel or any kind of real pull or
And
anything,
yet he's
but,
got the 7.6 thousand or whatever.
Is it
I think.
like people just trolling him, or are they legit people that want to be coached?
I
'Cause-
truly think, to be straight, I believe most of the people are trolls.
Okay.
I do believe that. There are a couple people who I think are mentally challenged
Mhm.
that he has
So he's
hooked.
still doing that.
And he gets them from some pool of new content creators or whatever. And
Oh, is he doing that networking bullshit?
he
still?
did, and he probably still is. I don't know.
Actually, that would be pretty funny, Holy Blade, to be quite honest. But okay, I'm just thinking. Okay, good.
Oh, thank
Streams
you,
are good.
Ellie.
Good.
I'm basically going to be on the Cassandra Troy channel because either it'll get booted, which it's not going to, that's not really my main channel.
Yeah.
I have another channel I'll be developing. So I'll be at Cassandra Troy. And
Well, yeah.
yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more. There are other I wouldn't say dangerous, but maybe. I don't know enough about other life coaches, but I know there are a lot of people out there who are claiming to be life coaches. Some I can vouch for because I was kind of semi-investigating them, so I paid a little bit of money to get into their meetings and stuff like that. So I do think they give good advice and they hold people accountable. And I've talked to live in person in Miami, some of the people.
Yeah. And some of them do have actual
But-
backgrounds in psychology. I
Yes.
mean, I didn't
Well,
want to
that
go on
person
and
has
on
a-
about myself.
Has a bachelor's in psychology.
Yeah, so do I.
Actually. Yeah,
And I didn't
so-
want to go on and on about
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's
but
a
you
lot
gotta,
more.
If you want to take advice from somebody,
Research on that, look into them.
Vet them.
That's it.
Figure out what their qualifications are and whether those qualifications are real or not. A lot of, especially if they say they have a license in something, let me just give you some good advice there. Some little life coaching advice. If someone says they have a professional license in something, there are many easy resources to research that and make sure they're legit. So keep that in mind. Always do that as a rule of Yeah, so there are some good, some bad. Most of them I'd say bad. I would say honestly save your fucking money. But there are some people that are good. I'm not promoting them or I'm not simping for them as someone would like to believe, like that person that thinks you're not a woman, that person.
Oh,
You know,
right.
that person that thinks
I
you're not a
forgot.
woman
There's
and that you're actually me.
yeah,
That
they think
person.
I'm you.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
right.
So there's that. So you guys in the chat, do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to talk about while we're here? Because
Hi, Nemesis.
yes, we were in the middle of something, but I wanted to say hi to Nemesis. It's good to see you, man. Um, yeah. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, let's
Quip
hear them.
quotes, quandaries.
As well, I mean, this has been a good hour. It actually hasn't even felt like we've been here an hour.
Yeah, and I just feel like I'm stumbling along, but
Yeah,
well,
well,
because I am.
that's how you do it at first.
Yeah,
and
and it's going to take me a while because
yeah,
I'm way out of my wheelhouse.
it's like working out.
Yeah.
You know?
Something else I need to be doing, but
Right.
yeah.
But the more you do it, the better you get at it, and
That's what I hear. That's what I'm told.
Even I'm very rusty at this, so that's another reason why I wanted why I was open to doing this.
Yeah, you've been so busy.
I'm rusty, and I used to stream weekly. If anyone remembers my old stuff, and that's when I was really, in on it. Plus, it was a topic that I really enjoy talking about. Guns, my favorite topic.
Ellie, thank you. One day I might seem like I'll be a natural. I appreciate that.
I think lowered expectations. I think you got a simp. I think you got a simp, Cassandra. Simping.
Come over to my channel. I'd say young man, but I don't want to misgender. I could. Just kidding, everybody. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
I'm not into the whole woke stuff.
Shit around here.
Yeah, not into the woke stuff. But
yeah. It sounds like they.
Any questions? It seems like everybody here knows about, not just about whom we're speaking, but about them, and possibly more than I do. Because I just recently came back to him. I watched him for a while 4 years ago, and was unimpressed. And then in the last 2 years, I've been getting sicker and sicker. But let's see.
Okay, Nemesis, that's fine. If you just want to talk about life coaching in general, you're free to do that.
Yeah,
too.
questions about life coaching.
I'll answer as best I can. Obviously, I don't know everybody, so if you ask me, about a specific coach that I don't know anything about, I probably can't answer you. Lowered expectation says they are honored to simp for you.
And I love a man or woman who chaws.
Oh man. Yeah, that does remind me of my hillbilly buddy from a long time ago. He used to chew. He started chewing with Skull first, and then he got into Grizzly, and then it was Copenhagen. And
that stuff is so terrible for you.
It really is. But he was a hillbilly, and that's what they did.
That's right. Who am I to question or tell someone not to ruin their mouth? I know. I don't.
Yeah. That ain't gonna
nothing.
Listen.
Very little phases me except for lying fake life coaches who I find to be dangerous. Yeah. That might be one of the. I said just the other night that nothing triggers me, and by golly, that was it. People who harm the vulnerable, that gets to me.
Yeah, I can answer you, Nemesis. So Cassandra is a friend I've had for quite a while.
Back in turd flinging monkey days.
Yeah, she is involved in the Miss Injury Today story, a major player in that story. Actually, she is Miss Injury Today's former landlady, if you must know. So she knows a lot about
That's where
the guy.
I've seen Nemesis. I know I've seen Nemesis around.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to explain where you know Nemesis from. Because
sorry.
He was in that Discord server that also had the woman that says that you're not a woman.
Oh, okay.
Right? So
all right.
That server.
I'm Kathy O there.
Yeah. And Nemesis was in that server, and he left for personal reasons. So that's where you recognize him from.
Okay.
And he's been a loyal viewer of mine,
Mhm.
since I've, run into him in that server.
Mhm.
So, uh, yeah, it's good to see you as always. It's too bad you missed the beginning, but you can catch up on it.
Bet you've got a good old burned out pouch in your gum there.
I'm chewing tobacco for about
Mhm.
35 years now.
Ding.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Quiet.
It's quieter than usual. Oh, I got the solution for that, brother.
It's probably not a bad
Well,
thing for a first time.
I cranked it down just a little bit, just because the dogs in the background, if they went crazy or something.
Which they
So
didn't.
right now
What
they're
good
sleeping.
doggies.
But,
I have a new puppy. Well, he's
Yeah.
4 months. I've had him. But that's
How's
still
that?
puppy.
That should be a little bit better. We're kind of sitting away from the mic, just given how the room is set up too. So that's also another reason.
Thank you, Nemesis.
Yep. So you two are acquainted. It's just been a while since you've spoken.
Yes.
So good. Yeah, so Shogun, how's this? How's the audio now? That's why I've been kind of turning my voice up a little bit, because I'm watching. If you watch this meter right here,
Oh, okay.
it should be up there closer to the red. Otherwise, it's kind of
Oh.
quiet. So it tells
Okay,
you.
I thought red was
Yeah.
like blastingly loud.
Yeah, you don't really want it to go deep into the red, and then it kind of is too loud.
Okay.
But you want it to be close to where the yellow and the red meet.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Sorry, we're doing. I'm teaching.
Yes,
technical
I'm
stuff
learning.
as we go.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you for tolerating that.
Okay, great.
I don't know lowered expectations though, so I look forward to meeting him or
Yeah,
her.
I don't know lowered expectations.
Everyone else in there I've seen before. I recognize from other
Yeah.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know that person, but they've been watching for a while.
Mhm.
Maybe from the MGTOW community or something. but,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I felt as a female I was pretty accepted in that community because back when it was, I've heard it's gotten something weird about it, but I don't know. I respected men with the whole going your own way mentality. I really saw their point and respected it.
Yeah. Okay, Nemesis. Then you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
Since
there's
you-
our
since
girl.
you use that name. What happened is she, when Cassandra was in that server, and she talked shit to Cassandra, and Cassandra responded, and Herpes lost her shit, especially when I said, "Hey, Cassandra is a woman. Like, see how you like that shit." And then she said, "No, that's not a woman, that's you," and started calling me a gamma male and all this shit. And then there's actually a unlisted video on my channel where we did a recording and had her say, "Hey, look, I'm not a woman," or not a woman. "Hey, look, I'm a woman, not a man. This is who you were actually talking to."
Yeah, it was I.
Yeah, this is the
not-
same person.
Yes, she insisted that
But
I was a man.
She
going
insisted
after
that
her.
not
Yeah.
only that it was a man, but it
That
was
it was
actually
you.
me
Yes,
under a
yes.
sock, and it was you.
Yes.
So
Yeah, she's something else. That one, let me tell you.
yeah, so,
Insufferable, absolutely.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good word for it. Yeah. She tagged me in something a while ago. Was supposed to come after me.
Quite recently,
Yes,
actually.
so-
Yeah.
I I don't know if she wants to play that game, but that's whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of the bickering
Yeah.
on the internet, and I've got a couple of things to say about the drama, and coaching, and then I might just pop smoke and go. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep close to some of my friends because I really have made good friends. People say it doesn't happen, but it does.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm myself, I'm looking into maybe doing another YouTube channel that has nothing to do with the red pill or manosphere or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Maybe something something more with more positive energy, I guess. Which there is some positive energy here, but then there's a lot of negative energy, and there's people who are grifters who nobody holds accountable, I'm fine if you say, want to hold women accountable. Okay, great, but hold your own people accountable too. Don't, there's a bunch of people who are grifters here that need to be held accountable. And one of the reasons I don't really do a whole lot of like grifting videos is, I mean, it's playing whack-a-mole basically. There's a lot of grifters to come after, and not a whole lot of time. Like, time is limited. So I kind of fell back on it. Although, guys, I am still going to do the story mode videos that I had planned. I decided that I'm not going to try to learn that other piece of software because it would take way too long for me to get done what I wanted to get done. And I kind of want to pump these out and kind of be done with it. And that's, just doing it my old school style is probably the best choice. I come to that conclusion.
Excellent.
I know a lot about that troglodyte, he says. Nice. Yeah. I thought you all were homies. I just never asked you about it because, like I said, that's your business. So I just what's going on between you and me, Nemesis, is just between you and me. I don't really give a shit about, it didn't bother me that when I thought you were still homies with her is what I'm trying to get at. It wasn't a big deal because I'm cool with you. So
yeah, she made an instant impression with me.
Yeah,
and
that's a good introduction, wasn't it?
It was amazing. You said, I want you to tell me about this person, and it took all of 3 lines. So hey, it was interesting. Oh, thank you so much, Nemesis. That'll be much appreciated.
I want to remind everybody, the intro to some of my videos, he's the one that made it. The
loud very gunshots. Cool. Yeah, oh my God, they're very nice.
Just FYI, so he...
very nice.
I can give you his email.
Is he on your Discord?
He's in my Discord
okay,
too. Yeah.
I'm in there too, Nemesis.
So...
Excellent. That might be another way I recognize the name. I just don't go into Discord often.
Yeah, I don't go into my own Discord as much as I would like. People just are busy.
Well, I'm getting ready to start my own Discord just because I got kicked out of one where I thought I had fun time and good relations with some of the people, and then I realized, well, if any shit can do that to you, I better just have my own, make my own rules. I'm not a kicker of trolls or. God, I wasn't even trolling. But regardless, I'm going to be doing it just so I don't have to worry about who dictates to whom I can speak.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody tells me who I can and can't talk to.
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
But when you're kicked out of something and you don't know how to reach the people, then that peeved me. But that's another story. That's a story for another day.
Yeah, I would like to have another like Discord chat, like get the people just shooting the shit, and I get the people on my Discord back on voice chat and just kind of chill. But everybody's kind of busy with themselves, if that makes sense. And it's hard to schedule. Like someone was saying, if you try to schedule it, it's very difficult. It just has to happen. Well,
that is true sometimes, but
it can be.
Should also have a schedule.
It can be. Well, that's why I have experience in scheduling things, so you kind of just ask all parties or as many parties as you can, like when are you available, and just see what lines up for about everybody.
I remember when we all watched that movie. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we used to watch like shit together on Discord, and it was fun. So. Yeah. All right, guys. Looks like everybody's
no coach related questions. Which I think they probably already have the answers. I've not seen anyone go after stuff very seriously with him. Actually put a clip. And I will add humor to it, but I'm also basically telling him why I feel the way I do, showing it in his own words.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Because
that's the only way I can think to...
People want evidence of what you're saying. It's just how these YouTube streets work, so you need to have that example. So voice notes,
for example purposes?
Like that. Yeah, for example purposes. I mean...
He says that all the time.
I've said that before in a different stream where someone, people make accusations about other people without evidence, and I take issue with that. You always have to have evidence, and that's what most people want. Ah, shit.
Queen Helen comes and goes. She hasn't left his Discord or his what is it, moderator crew.
Who's Queen Helen?
One of Eli's moderators.
Oh,
Yeah. There was another one before that that finally gave up on him, but Queen Helen is still there.
yeah. Well, interesting factoid. We haven't done one of those shows in a while, but I do every once in a while appear on some Red Pill related streams. It's called Bleeding Edge Red Pill, and those guys in that show are all familiar with the Cuck.
Interesting.
Apparently, they used to all fuck with him. So, I mean, he made some enemies from like the more like MGTOW community. That's how if where lowered expectations may be from.
Right. And that's what's interesting about him. He has enemies pretty much everywhere, but instead of saying, what is it about me? It's everybody else.
Yeah, well, that sounds like one of those psychological terms,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'll
Doesn't it?
refrain from using it for now.
Yeah, but yeah.
Anywho. And
Well-
the thing is the girlfriend does have some experience. She isn't, in my opinion, completely unlikable as some people find her. I've never found her that way. So that's a problem. Lowered expectations is more people are watching them because they are funny back and forth, and she actually has some knowledge, and she has a nursing degree, so she has some experience. So and it is interesting to watch him, but I don't want that guy to get traction until he gets some, I'm going to say, education. How about that? I'll be very nice and say he needs education, at the very least. But that's my concern, is that they do get traction. And I have had 3 people that I've known that were very similar to him, and they took off, and they're still awful out there. Anyhow, so this time I want to just make some pointers, and I'm going to not do it from my opinion. It won't just be my opinion. I'm actually,
what you used to say.
That's just your opinion.
yeah, it's just your opinion. No, he's kicked me out of his streams for facts, and he'll kick me out and say, I'm not taking that opinion. It's like, no, I'd actually just dropped a fact there, buddy.
Well, I'll give you an opinion of mine. I think that you could, if you were right in front of him, and you just showed him all your credentials, your degrees, all that stuff, he still wouldn't take anything you had to say.
Oh yeah, and
That's what I mean.
that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't even, of course, I
I
would never
still
even
think
do
he
that.
knows more than you. I know you would
Yeah,
never.
But
It's a hypothetical.
he would think that. And that's
I
astounding.
mean, that's the type
I
of
know he
person
can't
is.
change, but then, I believe that. You would hope someone would, but I doubt it would happen, because he thinks he's changed and he hasn't. So there you go. But if it would just help other people see the examples of why, don't let him put you down. Don't let him insult you like that. Call him out on it.
Right.
Notice when he does it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. I'm sort of, like I said, it's a PSA, because he told me to do it. He literally told me to do it, and I'm I'm a very literal person, people.
You don't challenge Cassandra to do something because she'll do it. And don't challenge her to do something you don't want her to do. That's a better way of saying it, because she'll do it. She's a stubborn person.
I'm autistic. I'm the worst kind.
There you go.
I'm the worst person to challenge.
Nemesis says, every guy who gets to know her ends up strongly disliking her. I am one of such persons. So you see, you guys know me by now that I try to be pretty fucking chill. And I try to be tolerant of that person, Nemesis, as much as I could. But you ain't gonna start talking shit to me without me saying something. And even then, I had the gloves on when I was responding. Just trying not to rock the boat too much in that server, because it's not my server. You don't, the way I was raised, you don't go into another person's house and try to act like make an ass of yourself. And so I take that same thing when I'm in someone else's Discord server. And so I kind of just held back, but it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to start defending myself. I'm not going to just, I'm not going to either be directly or sneak dissed and not say something about it. The time to be polite was over.
Yeah, she is an astoundingly contentious person.
Yeah.
Oh my heavens. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I really was shocked. I figured it would take a while for something to happen. Oh no, it took her. I'm not kidding. It was 2 or 3 sentences.
Yeah, it was like the first time you addressed her.
First
since
time
you were in the server. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And
That's
I didn't
pretty
even
bad.
say anything harsh to her. She just came at me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I responded in kind. And then she rage quit.
Well, not before saying that you were me. So
She did get that through. Well, I think
Yeah,
I think she came back and then
It's-
accused it. Yeah. It was just wow. She is a spitfire, that one.
yeah.
And a very illogical person who really talk about Dunning-Kruger. She really thinks highly of herself. But she might know physiology, but she doesn't know logic and human relations.
Yeah.
We're talking, I don't know if anyone in here knows this Carolina person. But
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
she's something else.
Yeah, I think
She's another one I'd challenge.
some people from the red pill side of things, a part of my audience might know who she is because she's been like a hang around. So,
Right.
but
I'd
other
like her
people
to
might
meet the
not.
coach. Maybe the coach could help her.
Oh my God. I think even she would not get along.
Oh my God. No, he'd kick her and less she'd get half a sentence through and she'd be gone.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. She had a bias against you because you were. Yeah. Well, she can hate the red pill all she wants. It. She needs to hold up a mirror to herself. That's the real problem. That's all I'll say about that. She needs to start looking in the mirror a little bit more and not seeing what she wants to see, but see what's the reality. I'll just say that. What happened to Holly Exo? I don't know. Can't tell you.
She disappeared.
She is a ghost.
Oh, that's
Oh, no,
hilarious.
I don't.
Yeah. No,
I don't want
yeah.
anything honestly, I had totally forgot about her. Didn't want anything to do with her really. And
She
then
threw down the challenge. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is true, Nemesis. That is hilarious. And Shogun, this woman, you can go see her YouTube channel, and it won't take you long to get a good picture.
Yeah.
Did she go by her real name?
Who?
Carolina?
Yeah.
Carolina
Yeah.
Hermes.
Hermes.
Of course, she's
Hermes.
yes.
Hermes.
Hermes.
I don't know all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But
Hermes.
point being is I've totally forgot about her. I don't know if she thought I gave enough of a shit to keep an eye on what she had going, but she tagged me one day and I got this notification, and normally the notifications I get are someone I uploaded a video, and I was like, well, I don't see that. Wait a minute, what is this? And then I noticed she had tagged me in some video that she was going to do some hit piece and saying that I simp for other men. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if you want to do that, because I might just show what kind of a person you are. But Roseblades she was funny sometimes in a goofy sort of way, but yeah.
Yeah, Roseblades.
Roseblades is doing something else now.
Yeah, she was a funny egg. I like her a lot. I haven't spoken with her in a while. I really should hit her up.
All right, man. You don't have to do that, but that's cool. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's always good to know there's someone
ride-
in your corner,
Yeah,
Nemesis.
ride or die is always good to have.
Yeah,
in
that's
my
awesome.
opinion.
Thank
So,
you so much. Because she was something, but we only had a couple back and forths, and then
yeah.
I think she made a video about it though. I
Did she?
might be.
I don't
I
know.
might star in one of her videos.
I
I'm
don't
not
watch
sure.
her, so
I've
I
had-
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I've had 5 or 6 people in my history do videos about me. It's kind of funny. It's yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing, Shogun. Rose was funny without trying to be funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy Blade said, I admired her autism and cringe. Yeah, she's got a little splash of the tism for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nemesis, I am a writer. He's ready. Ready to go to war, motherfucker.
Oh goodness. Well, thank you for being here to give me to help me get better at speaking.
Yeah, guys,
That
if
was
you
a
have
joke.
any questions for Cassandra, by all means, ask them here. It helps her get better. I mean, that's one of the main reasons we did this, because I did the one video about Cuck Eli. I almost called him a coach. He ain't no coach. I only did that one video about him, and that was it, because that's how much of I actually personally give a shit about him. He's
Yeah.
such a fucking loser. But Cassandra here wanted to get some practice and had a topic she wanted to talk about, so that's what we decided to go with.
Yeah. And the truth is I don't want to be super cruel. You know what I mean? Because I can be, and I
Yeah.
try to keep that shadow self at bay.
So you're not gonna be like him and talk someone into trying to
Yeah,
solve,
that's
right?
no. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And yeah, I don't want to go there, and I hope I never do. He's not really challenging, as far as if his arguments back aren't really challenging or insulting or anything. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just see. Watch him go. I mean, he'll go and if he tries to dox me, whatever. But I mean, that's what people say. Don't do it. He'll dox you and he'll threaten you. And I'm just,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
what is it?
okay.
Yeah, I'd love to see
Ouch.
him. I'd love to see him do that.
Oh my God.
Especially make threats. What the fuck is he gonna do?
Well, he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. He hires people. This is what that's word on the street.
Yeah.
And I've actually spoken to someone he's done this with. So
Well, he can get a few goons, but I'm not too concerned about him.
yeah.
So.
Oh no, clearly I'm not. I'm just curious as to what he could do to get me that upset to even say something hurtful. Curious, so we'll see.
I mean, like I said, I don't think even a hired goon would be dumb enough to come here. That's all I'll say. It'd be the last mistake they ever made. Also, guys, if you didn't catch what I meant before, this is an open panel now for Cassandra. You can ask a question on any topic, not just the original topic of the stream. I think it'll help her get more used to this and responding to people in chat and stuff like that. And in real, like typing to people back and forth is a little bit different than being actually live and addressing your audience.
Yeah, and I can get autistically boring, so it's okay to write in the chat autistically boring, and hopefully I'll see it and go, oh shit, all right, I'll move on. So those are things I need help with. Is sometimes just to shut up. My favorite gun. Oh, after today.
Yeah.
After today, the infamous rifle.
The AK-47.
Yes.
We went.
Oh, damn.
I'll tell you, there's a video of it. I wasn't using my best camera when I recorded it, but I showed her a little bit about the AK-47. I actually took the red dot sight off. This is what will impress you guys. I'll tell you the shot that was made. So I took my red dot sight off my AK, and we went irons, and I put our targets it's about 70 yards, about a 70-yard shot. Kind of a smaller target as well. It's not exactly a big target. And I took a couple of shots to see where she was going, and then I nailed my target. And once I figured out the hold, pro tip: the AK-47 starts raising up a lot more sooner than an AR bullet.
Which I had shot before.
The AR comes out straight for a much longer distance. I knew that once you started getting out to like 100 to 200 yards, you want to kind of start aiming for the belt line if you're shooting a human-sized target, which is true. But this kind of threw me off. But I got it. I figured out where she was hitting, and then I said, here's handed her the rifle, said, "Here's where you want to hold. Shoot from any firing position you want to shoot from." And she wears glasses, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Used iron sights, aimed up at the target at 70 yards away. First shot, killed. Hit the target, nailed it. First try. And I got it all on video. So that will be on the channel probably sometime this week, maybe the weekend.
It was fun as hell. It's like I love going to the range. I haven't gone in a very long time. I have shot an AR. I have a Glock 9mm, and now my husband just bought me a what?
That's a Mauser? Was
Yeah,
it?
my husband just bought me a Mauser. I haven't used that one yet, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, so the AK is a lot of fun. The AK is like my second favorite gun. The only one that I like better, and it's pretty close. And I'll have to get one of those trigger systems for my AK. But if you guys have watched my video, The Real Trigger Machine, you'll notice that my green AR-15 is my favorite gun. But it is closely followed by my AK-47.
Oh man, I love that.
All right, so Nemesis question for you.
I see that.
All right, feel free to answer that.
Okay, the biggest red flag. Well, I hate to split this up, but it depends on it. With women, a lot of times you're dealing more with a covert narcissist, but there are, of course, the overt classic narcissists. One of the main things you're going to find is when you meet them, they are not going to ask a lot of questions about you, and they'll turn the conversation back to them, even if you finally get an opening. So there's a big one, a big one. But the coverts, they carry covert for a reason. They can come off very sweet, and if they're well trained, they know how to wear a mask. They know how to wear a mask for a long time. Good girl, you're very brave.
Sorry about your ears, guys.
Sorry. That's
Come
one
here.
of my new adopted.
Here's
It's okay.
Yeah, she's frightened.
All right.
Anywho, so the coverts, I have a rule about relationships, and I think before a relationship you even think about moving seriously, you should know them at least for a year, and not just talking on the phone. And with coverts, they're going to be extremely sweet and accommodating, but trying to think, how do you spot them? They very passive aggressive. That's it. You're going to notice passive aggressiveness. So they'll seem like they're saying something sweet, but it's going to make you feel icky. Like they're going to walk away and you're going to go, "Wait a minute. Was that a compliment?
Yeah, the
Or is that a
backhanded
turn of
compliment.
phrase?"
Hmm.
Exactly. That's what the covert narcissist uses the most. And there are a lot of females that are covert narcissists. They tend to be more covert. And the overts are obviously they're extrovert. They tend to be extroverted, but that's extroversion in itself isn't a bad thing. But they will turn the conversation back to them, and they will ask very few questions about you. So I hope I helped. I hope that helped.
Yeah.
And forgive my poor puppy. She has serious PTSD. She's actually on medication for it.
Let's see.
What kind of Mauser?
Um,
Have you seen it? I've only looked at it once, and I haven't. It was a gift, a birthday
look
present
at
just
it
recently. But man, I love that gun.
I have to look at it again.
Yeah, sorry. I'll put a picture of it up in Discord, Shogun, because I just can't wait. I can't wait to.
I thought it was a 7mm Mauser, but don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure because it was a while since her husband showed me the gun. So, but it's got some big boy bullets, so I think it'll be a lot of fun to shoot.
Yeah, if the narcissist could very well be interested in you, but she'll still keep the conversation on her. Guarantee it.
Well, you're not wrong, Nemesis. But there is a difference, like what Cassie was saying. Yeah. It could be lack of interest in you,
No,
but
they'll
a
touch
lot
you
of
even.
but a lot of times the narcissist, it's they're more about talking about themselves for attention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it can be. So it's one or the other. She's either a narcissist or
Or she's not interested. That's
yes, or
true.
she's
But the
not interested.
narcissist, you're gonna know that they're interested. They'll touch you. The overt narcissist will touch you.
Well, yeah,
They want to make you uncomfortable, but they also want to know that they're interested.
but with the lack of interest too, kind of trust your gut. Like you can tell if someone's just. It's like a act when you ever watch a movie where you see an actor and you're just like, man, this guy's phoning it in. It's the same thing. When she's not interested, she's just kind of there, and she's like, God, I can't wait for this date to end. Uh,
And ask a
so
friend too, because sometimes you might misread something that's said, and it wasn't narcissistic, or they are really interested. So sometimes I think we overthink things. It's
no,
that is a key.
your gut instinct will tell you.
Oh, I can't wait to see a picture at Shogun.
If it's a 7 millimeter Mauser, then ammo will be expensive. Well, I don't know. I mean, they got ammo.
I heard it's large ammo and it's expensive. I heard. No, I heard the one I have is not expensive. I'm not sure. I hate speaking when I don't know
Yeah,
about
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
speaking.
I don't. I'd have to again get my hands on it and look at it. To see, that's. I mean, I know of those guns, but they're not like my expertise. Specialty.
Oh, and I hit that target because I had excellent instruction. By the way.
Man.
So very excellent instruction. Told me exactly where to aim. Told me.
Yeah.
It reminded me how to breathe.
I was basically a
And
spotter for
it was
and
yeah.
she nailed it. So.
And I did exactly what he said. So yeah, it was God. I loved it. I loved doing it. Yeah, I loved going out on the range.
Yeah. Well, she was really mad earlier and felt a lot better once we got what I call trigger therapy.
Yes, trigger therapy works very well.
I'll put there'll be a short video that'll come out later. We didn't do a whole lot. We maybe shot 30 rounds between the two of us.
I don't even
I
think
shot
that
most
many.
of 'em.
I thought I shot only.
You took a
I
couple
shot
of shots.
4 total.
Yeah,
I shot the first one, and then I went to the red dot, the laser sight, and I just don't like that. And I hit the same place 3 times in a row, precisely about a millimeter off. But again, it was because the laser was putting me to the.
Well,
left
I
or
figured
something.
out at least for me, I made the red dot a little too bright. That's another pro tip, guys. With your red dot, you don't want it to be that bright. Like the video games, they make it bright for there's reasons they make it bright, but to be quite honest, for more precise shooting, you want it. Obviously, you got to be able to see it well enough, but it needs to be lower brightness, but you still can see it and identify it compared to the back, like what you're shooting at. So I just kind of bullshitted. I was like, okay, it's on, cranked it up, and then the sun was out, so it probably needed to be a little bit brighter, but
Yeah, I'm just not used to using them, so it was uncomfortable. What about? I want to see that picture. Crooked HC.
yeah, if you got pictures, you know what to do. You got my Discord, man. Hey, Rifle, you should show Cassie the picture I rendered for you of Crooked HC. Oh, yes.
Okay, I
Actually, I
figured
think
you'd
I have
get it.
that on my hard drive.
Okay,
I'll show her
cool,
that later
cool.
for sure.
I know Bull Rush.
Yep,
Range
Bull
therapy
Rush
is the best.
Yes.
Yeah, I would send someone to the range over a therapist any day.
Yeah. It really does feel good when I'm really stressed. Even just emptying one magazine, it makes things so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. People don't understand that. People don't shoot often or don't have much experience, don't get that. Or if you're scared, you probably won't get that much of the feeling. But when you're like, it's just something you do, kind of how it is for me, it's more special. It feels good.
Yeah. I'm such a cheapskate. I would go every day, all day, but I'm afraid of losing bullets right now. I
Ab-
want to save as many as I can.
Well, the reason, absolutely bull rush, by the way, that and it just makes it harder to be more precise. If the dot is smaller, then you're going to be able to kind of line up center mass a lot better, more precisely, in my opinion. But the reason we have like a good bit of
Exactly.
AK-47 ammo. My dad, he's got an AR-10, and he was ordering ammo, and he accidentally ordered 7.62 by 39, and he should have been
Woohoo.
trying to get 7.62 by 51. And it was like, well, since you got 7.62 by 39, here you go. Well, thank you
Boom.
very much. Yes, I will take that off your hands.
That's wonderful.
So now we have, and we were moving stuff around, and I just noticed one of the boxes kind of tore open. It's actually a brass case, so that's even better. Most AKs are steel case, but brass case is usually better as far as being a better round. But the AK is designed to chew up those steel cased rounds. But there's high quality ammo. It's Fiocchi. I'm like, wow. But I mean, he was buying precision ammo for an AR-10, so fairly precise.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I know. I the one time, luck was on my side. Yeah, my dad kind of caught the fever. Like once he started seeing my collection, then he's like, oh shit. He started buying. He's got several ARs and AR-10. It's collecting handguns. He's got an old CZ75, which I think is awesome. He's had that CZ75 forever. His is much different. Mine is a modern. His is like an old school, and his is also a 40 caliber too. That's another difference. But I'm turning him into a CZ freak show. He bought a CZ 2075 Rami, which is the little one. He bought one for himself. After he saw mine, he fell in love with it. He's like me. I mean, we share that trait. 30-06. My dad has one of those too. Yeah, a lot of ammo. Holy Blade, a lot of ammo. Regardless of the caliber right now, it's hard to get. Or at least if you can get it, it's expensive.
It's so expensive.
Like
oh my
everything, the price of everything is through the roof right now.
God. Okay. Yeah, I can always go back to talking about guns, even though I don't know much. I learn something every time.
Yeah.
All I know is I like shooting them, and I like bow and arrows as well. I like straight bow and arrows. Love it.
Yeah.
So
Cassandra's got some archery skills.
love it, love it, love it.
The Walther PDP 4.5, little snappy. See, my younger brother bought a Walther. I think it's one of those types of that. I think that whole brand, kind of like Glock. I don't think it's a bad brand. It's just not for me, if that makes sense. In other people's hands, I'm sure it's amazing. Like particularly Glock. I owned a Glock 19 one time, and it's a good gun. Can't go wrong with it. But for me, the grip angle, stuff like that, doesn't work for me. I'm getting salvage 7mm Mauser for 15 cents a round, up from 11 cents lately. Definitely not for beginners though. That's not too bad. That isn't too bad at all, actually.
Yeah, I do know that the fellow who, from whom my husband bought the Mauser, he did say that the rounds were not that expensive on it. He did tell them that.
Yeah, some calibers are doing
Yeah.
all right. I'm sure 22 long rifle is doing good. CZ is still my bread and butter. You damn well better believe it. Man, Bull Rush or CZ brothers. I got my CZ on my back right now.
Yes, he does.
I got the. I think I showed you a long while ago, but it's the PO1. It's basically a CZ75 compact, but with a few extra features. But they call it the PO1. And then I actually have my full size CZ75 here as well. I forgot that's in my bag.
Yeah, I don't know what. When we find out, I'll take a picture of the Mauser Shogun and I'll put it in Discord.
Yeah,
And
great.
you can tell me what it is
Yeah.
because yeah, I haven't researched it at all, clearly, embarrassingly. But it's nice and heavy and sturdy and me likey.
Mhm. Yeah, it might have more recoil than you want right now, though. That's why I haven't brought my Mosin Nagant. My
Mhm.
Mosin Nagant is like a high power, like the kick. Not the kick is like a high power 12 gauge shotgun,
Mhm. Mhm.
basically. It will
Oh, I have one of those
it
too.
will it will hit you hard in the
Yeah,
shoulder. It's
yeah.
fun as hell, and it's like, I know people that it's almost taller than because it's
Mhm.
tall rifle.
Yeah. I'm
But
surprised at how much the AK didn't bother me at all. I was waiting for some because I know the first time I shot a 45 handgun
yeah,
revolver, someone warned me so it didn't kick as much because I was countering the
Mhm.
kick, but I thought today was going to blow me backwards and it didn't. I was
some of that is due to the muzzle device that I have on it, but
Mhm.
it's I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it was
I
so
mean,
smooth.
yeah, people. It's probably because people are so used to shooting ARs that it's like anything with a little bit of recoil was like, oh,
Right.
this is so much recoil.
Right.
If it's an Egyptian or a Persian one, definitely keep it. Oh, I mean, that's her gun. I don't.
Yeah, I'll
You know,
definitely. Well,
I
I'll
don't
get a
think
picture
she's
of it. I'll go get one now. After we get off, I'll go. After we get off the show, I'll go get the gun and take a picture.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, I mean, just for me, I don't sell. I almost never sell guns. I've only sold a couple of the guns that I've bought, and sometimes the only reason I sold them is basically because I wanted an upgrade, and selling that would help finance the upgrade. So yeah,
Oh, were you talking about John's gun earlier? Did I zone
what's
out?
that?
The one that his brother gave him, the revolver. That was an old. Okay, then it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, fart.
Give us gun porn.
Right.
They want the gun porn in my.
I'll get my OnlyFans will be guns.
I agree. My Discord server needs more gun porn. I think it needs a lot more of that.
You got it.
So
You got it. I'll put out the one that I was just referring to also, the handgun. That's an old one. It's an antique, I think. But it's something that a lot of guys like. My husband and I didn't quite know what we had.
but here's a fact you may have forgotten, Bull Rush. CZ bought Colt. So keep that in mind. So technically they're no longer knockoffs per se because I mean they own Colt. So their 1911s are
They're a
official.
buy off.
Yeah, they're official now. And hopefully they'll make Colt great again. So
Issues with scopes. Oh, okay.
yeah, that's one of those failures of gun design. Like I
Mhm.
said, we'll have to check it out and see what kind it is. I'm curious. I mean, he brought it out. He's like, check this out. It's like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't encountered excuse me, too many guns I didn't like. I mean, I have encountered a couple, but
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, don't come in front of me with the fucking what is it? They make it in my home state, the High Point. High Point pistols. That's for. I mean, that's a Saturday night special if I ever saw one. It's really more of a High Point pistol is really more of like a bludgeoning weapon than a firearm. It's kind of like a fancily shaped brick, is what it is.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna shut it down by the time we reach the 2 hour mark, guys. So, get your questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about. get it out there, and we'll close it off in about 15 minutes. So 5 they are great paperweights too.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
They have many uses that don't include shooting them. Oh God, see, when it comes to like protecting my life, I'm willing to pay some money. That's why I choose CZ. They need to sponsor me. They don't know who the fuck I am, but I enjoy their products, and I trust their products. They don't let me down.
You know, I'm glad to see that there's an excellent connection here. The Wi-Fi.
You can also, another pro tip, you can also see what the connection is like down here in the bottom corner of OBS.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep.
And you see that green square?
Mm-hmm.
That means we're good to go.
Nice. Nice.
It turns yellow, it's kind of getting crappy, and if it turns
Okay.
red, not good.
Yeah, because this is all new to this area. They've rolled it into the backwoods.
Yeah, well,
Before
you
we
have
had
it.
nothing. Yeah, before we had nothing.
That's, my parents were in that same, I told you about that. My parents had that problem. God, when boomers finally get their hands on high-speed internet, it's like so much of a game changer when they've never had high-speed internet in their entire lives.
You know, Nemesis, my outlook on the red pill. This is something I really need to think about, because on first blush, when you hear about the philosophy and such, it all sounds honeymoonishly wonderful. And I'm not sure if I've changed or the quote red pillars have changed, but it's starting to remind me, and I'm using feminism just as an example. I could use anything, communism, or I could use politics, whatever. It seems like everything starts someplace that seems like it needs to go, and then it swings too far.
It's the people.
And yeah, but I think that's human nature.
I
So
got
I
the answer
think-
to that. It's the people.
Yeah.
It's
And-
100% the people. It's just like anything. Think of say Christianity, for instance. I mean, I'm a person of faith myself, but if you get people, the more people you get into, say, Christianity that are whack jobs, the worse it's going to make all people of that, faith
And
look
then
worse.
and then the doctrine gets
And it gets bastardized.
that's probably where I was going. Yeah,
I'll give you some good advice, Nemesis, when it comes to the red pill. Learn what the real red pill is.
go back to the basics.
But
yes.
don't listen. There's going to be some people that are basically, I mean, no other word to describe them other than extremists. It's kind of like how MGTOW had its certain rules, and then people wanted to add this and that and the other thing to what MGTOW was. The MGTOW guys, and I remember there was kind of a bit of a war between the one part of the MGTOW guys and the people that were trying to change shit, or say that it was something that it wasn't. And then eventually, like, the voices that scream the loudest are the ones that get heard. It's that same type of situation.
Yes, and hence the pendulum goes. And that's what I find a problem with.
The good people start just not talking, or they just kind of go their own way, and then you just don't see them. And I saw that in TFM's Discord server. I watched that firsthand when there was it started getting flooded with people, and there were a certain type of people. I'm not trying to hate on them or anything, but
squeaky wheels, man.
These people were really damaged in it. And I mean, everybody was hurt, but there's a difference between, in my opinion, someone who was hurt in the past and someone who is truly like damaged and just mentally ill. Like there were older people in that.
Some people are broken.
Yes. There were older people in that server who been divorced, raped. They couldn't see their children, blah blah blah. And then you run also another danger that I brought up on this channel before. Eventually, you got the people who are actual abusers that hide amongst the other people. So
That's
then,
right.
you know,
Infiltrators.
yeah, the actual abusers get in with everybody else, and they have a place where they can feel comfortable.
Oh, our pleasure, very much.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're pretty new to all this Nemesis, but yeah,
Exactly, Bull Rush.
that's kind of what we've been seeing as well. Bull Rush. I wouldn't say
I
that
hope
like
it can
Andrew
happen.
Tate is red pill per se. He's red pill adjacent, and I personally, just for me, I don't want red pill to go mainstream because the more mainstream it would go, the more that bastardization that we were just talking about
Mhm.
would take effect.
And get the attention and then start the swing. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, another thing, you guys probably haven't seen me, like you, Bull Rush, or some of your other guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you probably haven't seen me very active. And that's because I'm kind of, I would describe it as like red pill fatigue, really. Um, and it's also one of those things, once you get the red pill and you absorb it, you just don't need to like keep consuming that as much. Now, like if Rolo does a stream on a topic I find interesting, I may tune in.
But I don't agree with Rolo and everything.
No one agrees with anyone on everything.
I mean, I don't know. We'll move on from there.
Yeah, but if he's talking about something that's interesting, I'll watch. If not, then I don't. I'm not one of those people that's like, well, so and so is streaming and I have to be there. I don't feel like I have to be there. And I never really did, but you know, I just find also is they find these trends and then everybody's like Andrew Tate himself is a trend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He also
it
has
is kayfabe.
sociopathic tendencies.
It is kayfabe, for sure. But you know, and it is playing onto his grift as well. So because everybody's talking about him, then people were like, "Oh, did you hear what that Andrew Tate guy said?"
I don't know.
I don't know. Who
Actually,
the
I don't
fuck
know
is?
what's trending about him, but this
He's
is
all
my
well. You
assessment
don't
from
watch.
a couple
You
years
don't
ago.
watch this stuff, but mainstream's talking about him. He's done these big interviews and stuff like that. But that's how this. And then someone might not have heard of Andrew Tate, but their friend might be like, "Man, hear what this Andrew Tate guy said." And then that person will get curious, like, who the fuck is Andrew Tate? And then they're going to do some research, and then
And I told two friends, and they told two friends.
yeah, and that's how that works.
Right.
And it is kayfabe, and he's playing the game. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. You know, I was never like a hater of Andrew Tate, and I was never like a supporter or like a fanboy or anything like that.
He's someone, if I met him in real life, I'd stay far away from him. I know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know who he actually is in real
I just
life.
know I do analysis. I can just look.
He's playing a character, though. That's what kayfabe is.
But you can tell if someone's playing a character. But you can also see what's underneath. I don't know. Oh my gosh, Coach Red Pill. Oh, I battled with that man for
I don't know.
4 years ago.
I heard he was dead. That's about.
Oh, did he die in Ukraine? I have.
Supposedly. That's
Oh,
supposedly
no.
he died in
No,
the
he
Ukraine.
came back. I told everyone he's not. This is just an attention
I
grab.
don't know. That's how much attention I pay. I hear stuff and then that's it.
He's a very insecure attention grabber, Nemesis. I knew him I knew him back when he had 2,000 subscribers, and he crawled around the internet like a slug, hitting up on bigger, just like what some do when they hit up on people with bigger channels and go after them.
Yeah.
To get attention. That's how he got his start. Exactly. He's not dead.
I mean, I'll flat out tell you, I have videos going after people that have much bigger audiences. It has nothing to do with me trying to steal their
no
audience.
one gets that impression from you.
Because I don't like that motherfucker.
Nobody gets that impression from you.
Yeah.
But if you knew anything about Red Pill, the Coach Red Pill, you would know.
I don't know.
He's a schmutz.
I don't know that much about him other than, I support him over Kraut and T. So.
Nope. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
piss on Carlton T if he was on fire, burning alive in front
I
of me.
don't. Yeah, he
fuck
was.
him.
You're talking about a grown man and a 19-year-old kid at the time.
Yeah,
Now, yeah, that's yeah.
he's alive. Okay, well, I
No,
mean,
he is.
I don't
knew
know.
he
Like
would
I
be.
said, that's how much
It was just a
attention.
publicity stunt.
That's
That's
how
all
much
it was.
attention I paid to that shit.
And that's just like him.
he
He
came
would
back
do,
as a zombie. He said,
yeah, he would
Yeah.
do that type of publicity stunt just to get more. Yeah, that's all he is a grifter. In my opinion. He and I used to go at it.
He probably is a grifter. It's,
Yeah,
like I said, I
yeah,
don't
sure
know
you do.
enough about him. I just know I like. All right, so it's basically when I'm looking at Carlton T and Coach Red Pill, you got two pieces.
There is no more Carlton T.
You got
though.
two pieces of shit,
No.
and one of them stinkier than the other one.
Carlton
and that's
T.
it.
Carlton T. went a whole different other way. All he does is do historical videos now, and he's just Kraut.
Yeah.
So he's done. That was a kid that learned and moved on, and now he does fantastic videos.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
and they're
watch 'em.
history. They're just
I'm
history.
not interested.
Yeah, they're just basic history. Very well done,
That's
folks.
that's my analogy
three of you.
and my analysis of those two.
But you're talking from 4 years ago. That's not who they are today.
I,
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. When I'm done with you, I'm done with you. Though.
Yeah, I can be that way, but not when someone's a kid and still their brain's still
Well,
growing.
I didn't know how old he was.
He's a
It
kid
didn't-
who hadn't even gone through school yet. I stopped. Yes, exactly, Shogun.
Yeah. I just
It's,
want
and
to
it's
watch
getting perverted too. Now.
watch videos of subjects I find interesting. Like I watch all kinds of shit. To be quite honest, I mean, there's one video. There's one channel I watch. It's all about bears attacking people.
Those are fun.
True stories, or
I mean, horrifying.
yeah,
I
they
have
are.
I have a bear phobia.
Yeah, we talked
so,
about that.
yeah.
People know I don't like bears here either. Like that's why I don't go into the woods without a gun. I don't go anywhere without a gun, but definitely not the woods.
Exactly, Nemesis. He's a grifter. He's a con artist. I'm telling you, that's what he does. All he wants is your money, and he has no morals.
Yeah,
He is he is an absolute con artist.
that's the simplest way to say it, Bull Rush. And keep this rule of thumb in mind. Now, years ago, I think it was 2019, I woke up, I rolled out of bed, I turned my computer on, and I did a video called I Don't Need a Leader. Now, I need to kind of do an update on that called I don't have, what's the title? It'll just be about not needing any heroes or anything. Be your own hero. That's what it was. Be your own hero, be your own leader. So I need to do kind of update that again. But that's a good rule of thumb.
When
you can,
after you're an adult, yes.
yeah. Well, I mean, you can have mentors. You can have people who inspire you, but you don't need a leader. You don't need a fucking. I mean, probably don't need a life coach. To be quite honest, I mean, just to keep it out on the topic. But yes.
I know,
Bull
that's why I
Rush.
laughed earlier.
Bull
I
Rush.
felt bad. It was his comment that I
Bears
sniggered
are
at.
why God invented 10
Yes.
millimeter. I just had a conversation with Cassandra's husband about that because there, people are still on this 44 Magnum, 44 Super, which is good. But since that's a topic I like researching, I watched a hunter's video where he was out in Montana and he had a predatory attack against him by a male bear. And he, almost didn't have his 10 millimeter on him. He almost left it in his backpack. But for whatever reason that day, he felt like putting it in his, I think he had a chest rig. And it was ready to go and everything. Male bear charged him, was going to eat him alive. Now he put a total of 10 rounds of that 10 millimeter into that bear out of 15, basically, before the bear finally died. He said one round even hit it in the spine and paralyzed its back legs, and it was still trying to come at him on its front legs.
Oh my
Huge grizzly bear.
Freaking land sharks.
And if anyone understands the power of 10 millimeter, I would say it is, I believe, it's probably comparable to like 44. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I hear, is that it's pretty comparable. So it's quite powerful. And if you want the bastardized version, 40, a lot of people don't know this, but 40 Smith & Wesson was developed from 10 millimeter, and it needs to go away, in my personal opinion. But the FBI decided at that time that 9 millimeter wasn't strong enough, so they had 10 millimeter developed, but then 10 millimeter was so powerful, so they went from a round that they felt was insufficient to a round that was like so powerful that their people couldn't qualify because of the amount of recoil. So then a bastard was born, and that bastard is 40 Smith & Wesson, and that bastard needs to go to hell and never come back.
The end.
Yeah, the end.
Nemesis,
end of story.
you've got him. You have him pegged perfectly. It's exactly who he is.
You'll find that with a lot of these content creators. To be quite honest, a lot of them, not all, vet anyone you watch and get a feel for their real personality, not the kayfabe.
Yeah, his degree is in economics.
But they are narcissistic. They just want money, and it's all a game to them. So be careful. I did a video about grifters, a whole series about it.
You should look into Gonzalo Lira. That's his name.
Oh, is that?
That's him. Coach Red Pill.
Okay.
Yeah. Look into him.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 millimeter had over penetration issues. Well, is it really over penetration?
Is there really such a thing?
When you're shooting a bear, is that really a thing? Yeah. Well, some people swear by 40 because they think it's so much more powerful than 9. It's really not. You're shooting a slightly larger bullet with snappier recoil and less capacity in the magazine. And after looking into ballistic data on 9 millimeter, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 45, you're not getting anything out of 40 especially, but 45 really, people who swear 45 is, the only reason they carry a 45 is because they can't carry a 46. There are videos online right now of your godly round that fails to kill a wild hog. A dude emptied a magazine at close range with a 1911, the one the boomers love so much. And that barely did the job. Like, he basically only got it on the final round. And I own a 1911. It's not that I hate them or anything, but, they are a boomer gun. 7.62 by 25. I love that round. A Shogun, a black bear, yes. A grizzly bear, you probably better empty the magazine. You better have the PP-43C with the stock and just empty that thing into the grizzly.
I don't know where I read this because I do a lot of shark and bear research just to fan my phobia.
Yeah.
But that was written that with grizzlies, you wait for them they're going to rise up before they attack, and you wait for that, and then go right up under their chin, aim toward the back of their head, and that's the way you're going to take them down.
You got to be real careful with bears though, because they're very smart, and some of them have swiped pretty much the gun out of people's hands. So
yeah, that wasn't
personally,
in that.
I would shoot a little bit early before.
Yeah. You don't want to make them, but they said that could make them angry if they could turn and leave. But if you hit them, then now you piss them off. So you first want to make a noise.
I'd rather play it safe and just,
it's hard to say. Because if
before
you
I'm
make a
within
noise, they might just
swiping,
go away.
Before I'm within swiping, well, what they're talking about is if they're if it's not a bluff charge,
Mhm.
then you better shoot. Like
Mhm.
that will get you killed. Hesitation will get you killed.
Yeah, well, they don't say, quote, hesitate as in, like, you're scared. They say, I get a different feel for hesitate versus wait. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
like, don't hesitate. Once they're over you and ready to go, once they're out, then don't hesitate. Shoot.
it's more of
Yeah.
like a leaping tackle, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
standing
I
up.
just remember reading that.
I-
I've not witnessed it yet. I'm not watching those videos. You know more.
Yeah.
You
Like I
know
said,
what they really
the
do.
bears will swipe their weapon at
That's
your hand
amazing.
if you let them get that close.
See, that's them. That's them learning. They've learned
Uh,
that gun's bad.
redheaded stepchild
That's
pistol
right.
caliber
Gosh.
of cartridges. No alligator phobia. Well, I mean, I'm not exactly going to go swimming.
Yeah, no, I do have one, but I'm not near them.
I have a
So-
natural human aversion to being in alligator country and swimming in ponds and, but am I just having nightmares of them? No. I don't. Same thing with bears. I just know what's in my territory and what's the biggest threat. And bears are, what makes them the most dangerous to me is they're very intelligent. That's probably the
Mhm.
creepiest part
They've
of the
learned.
fucking
Yeah, they've
bear.
learned about guns. Maybe it worked before they knew what they were. Harder to bring down.
Probably the elephant. I mean, since it is the biggest, it has pretty tough skin, I assume, and a lot of like body weight and muscle. The
Yeah.
thing is, when you're shooting anything, no matter what it is, your goal is to penetrate and hit the vital organs. Just like if you ever taken martial arts, they want you to hit in a certain area because along the spine, like inside. That includes up to the face, because they're where the vital organs are, lungs, heart, same thing. Or with shooting, if you get enough penetration with your round, it could actually hit the spine and just lights out. You ever see someone that's been paralyzed because they were shot? They didn't necessarily die, but I mean, that's how easy it is. One shot. That's why you don't play games. One shot, even if it doesn't outright kill you, you might be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life or a vegetable or something. Yeah. Fuck that. Honestly, though, like, I find, even though grizzlies are huge, black bear, I'm more concerned about, not only just because they're in my area, but they say that they're more likely to attack people when it's not the mama bear defending the cubs. They're more likely to do a predatory attack. Alligators aren't even active at all, nor are they intelligent. Well,
They're not active
killing
until
machines.
they are.
Yeah, they're killing machines. I mean, it's not something they think about. You're at the edge of the water or you're in the water and they grab you.
Yeah, I heard about that movie. And takes on a grizzly, and I think that's when he runs into the girl when she's covered, when the predator's covered in grizzly blood.
I watched the Critical Drinker talk about it. It didn't appeal to me. There's
Yeah.
only
He didn't hate it. That was interesting.
I am surprised. I guess it
Yeah.
just wasn't as bad as he at first thought it was going to be.
His expectations
Yeah.
were so low. There's
Right.
that, I guess.
Well, I mean, and you just can't beat the original Predator movie. I'm
No,
sorry.
I
It's
know,
just like
right? You just stop when you're ahead, and that's usually after you do the first one. The only one that broke that was Terminator and Alien. They were fine to do. They did a good job with the second one, but it doesn't happen often.
Alligators are like redheaded girls. Oh man.
Oh, that's funny. In Florida, I'm not even happy about pools in Florida, Shogun. They want to show up in a pool. So
I've said this before.
oof.
I have
Gators.
a relative in Orlando. They have a cage over the pool. I haven't been there since I was real young,
Mhm.
maybe I was 7, I think. Can't remember. But yeah, I remember that.
Oh, the alligator got in?
Well, no, there was no alligator.
But they put a
They had a
cage
cage over
because-
the
yeah.
pool, and they also had a pond or whatever that had like brackish water. And they're like, you stay away from that pond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're everywhere. And I'd be afraid of puddles. Yeah, I do not like alligators. But we don't have to worry about them. Knock on something.
I think that's natural human fear of
Yeah.
certain animals.
Yeah.
But I don't have like an extreme fear, like nightmares or something over it. Just
Yeah, that's sharks and bears for me. I actually have nightmares.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Hence that's the cages.
Yep.
Because those gators will
that was
go
my-
anywhere.
My experience. Well, we actually went into 2 hours and 10
Oh,
minutes now.
we're just yappy McYappertons.
Yeah, no, that's how it goes. Sometimes you kind of like, I don't think this will end.
Yeah, I'm like,
I expect
why
it
can't
to."
everyone just start talking?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in Discord server, you just get in voice. It's a lot of fun. Oh God, snapping turtles are assholes. Oh my God, they're monsters. Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, that reminds me of this video of this stupid idiot that was holding a big ass turtle in front of him, and he goes to like kiss it, and the turtle bites him right on the face.
Oh my
and
God.
Scream.
Well, Jesus.
Like, how stupid can you be,
Exactly. Exactly.
man? We don't have gators here, but crocodiles. Well, yeah, there's crocodiles in Florida as well. So I think that's the only place where alligators and crocodiles live. And I happen to know a lot about. I love animals, so I do.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
something-
people don't realize there aren't many that alligators are the
Yeah, there's
most
not
popular.
too many, but yeah,
But
the
there are a
American
couple,
alligator and the
yeah.
American crocodile
Yeah.
live in the
Yeah.
swamp there.
And
And
I
the
find crocs to be
Everglades.
much more intimidating.
Yeah,
But still, I don't want to meet either of them.
me neither.
I'm perfectly
neither.
okay never crossing paths with either of them. Yes, exactly. Fading. I'm fading, I think.
Yeah, so that's usually, guys, 2 hours is usually my limit, anyways. So we're getting ready to shut her down. A lot of people go missing in swamps in Louisiana, and alligators eat corpses. So
Yep.
yeah,
If you want to get rid of something, definitely head down to the Louisiana swamps or the Florida what is that called? Everglades.
yeah.
If you need to get rid of something, you know.
That's been something I've been interested in, the missing persons type of stuff. When I'm not
Mhm.
watching like stuff about bears or animals or something, I'll watch missing persons stuff. I have been considering talking about like true crime stuff. Me and Cassandra may team up, do some kind of effort for that. But it won't have anything to do with this community, but we'll tell people who we like to come over. But it's just something we thought about. Don't
Mhm.
know if we're gonna pull the trigger on that or not. Yeah, yeah, Nemesis, appreciate having you here.
Yeah, we didn't put out an announcement or anything because it was really just a practicey thing.
It was a practice, and it was kind of like a out of the blue as well,
Oh,
so.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't want to be a happy meal. That is one of my
yeah.
my four ways I don't want to go. One of them is ingestion. Yeah. Especially while I'm alive, but yeah, after I'm gone, I don't really care. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be ingested while still cognizant.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, it does. It takes some energy out of me to live stream. But guys,
I know. I will not have anything to do
True
with
Crime
drama.
Space has a lot of drama.
Yeah, I don't-
We did talk about that.
Yeah,
He told me.
It's such
and,
it's such a cesspool.
we would just stick
Yeah.
to the facts.
yeah,
yeah.
and ignore everything.
No matter
else.
what you do, you're gonna have haters. Even like my small channel probably has people who
hate
hate
watch.
me,
Yeah.
hate watch or whatever.
Yeah.
But You know, it's whatever.
Yeah,
It
those
doesn't-
kind of things don't get to me at all. So
Yeah.
it, I like the psychology of true crime, so that kind of gets me into it.
Yeah, and I like the missing person stuff is
Yep.
interesting when people just disappear and
Yeah.
but I have my suspicions on the reason some investigations suck so bad, but we'll save that for if we get into that kind of content.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we are going to call it a stream at 2 minutes or 2 hours, 2 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes, guys. Thank you all for being here. Nemesis, yeah, please watch this stream from the beginning, bud, and kind of figure out what the hell's going on here.
See if I
There's a-
make any sense. Tell me if
Yeah.
I don't. I'm okay because again, I'm working on communication. My communication skills.
Yes, and there's some
So-
history between us and this guy that we originally were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if you go and look him up, yeah, just realize he's a cuck, and you'll catch on to that real quick. But
Thank you to
that said, yes, thank you guys.